What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today, I think 5 of World Cup predictions. Very early because we don't even know some of the teams who are going to be in it yet, but the draw just dropped. So I want to go over each group and kind of go my predictions and a little bit of my reasoning. Nothing too much. Each of the playoff spots, I put the team I predicted is going to go through. I'm not going to go deeply into that, so sorry, but I made my predictions. So yeah, let's start with Group A. I'll go ahead and give my fourth place. South Africa, I think they have been good. They've been on good form in Africa. They've been playing good, but they're not playing any really other competition other than Africa. I think they will stay at fourth for this competition. I think third place, a little bit of a shocker, is going to be Denmark. I think they fell off a little bit in these recent years. The qualifiers wasn't really the best of it. They beat teams, but they haven't, like, European teams. They haven't really been playing, like, beating many bigger ones. They've been kind of just beating the smaller ones. I know they did beat Portugal in the Nations League, but nothing overly impressive from them. And for second place, I do put Mexico. Probably a little bit biased, but I think Mexico just, I think being on home turf gives them an advantage. I really hope to see something from them, but I don't know. You could complain, but I think Mexico will be second. First place, I'm going to do South Korea. I think South Korea is probably one of the more consistent sides. They've been very consistent at World Cups. I think South Korea, honestly, I have a strong side. I think they're probably the most consistent in this group right now, which is why I do see them topping it. Fourth place, I do think is going to be Qatar. I think Qatar has been like one of a better side in Asia recently. They've been definitely showing a lot more. This is their first World Cup to qualify for based off of like the competition, not counting them being the host. So, but I still think they do lack the ability to compete against the teams in this group. Third place might be a shocker, Italy. So Italy hasn't made the World Cup since 2014. They're obviously a strong side, winning the Euros back in 2021. Have strong players, Donnarumma, Bastoni, Barea. They have a lot of like good players, but I feel like when you look at them, they haven't been overly consistent. Canada is second. Results, they've been like competitive-ish with some like South American teams, African and European. I mean, beating Wales, beating Romania, with Switzerland being first. They've just been like a very like they haven't been like an outstanding like contender, but they've been a very consistent contender, and I think they have good results. I mean, they beat Mexico, they beat USA in their recent results, and I think so they have that against Canada. I think Europe, they've been very competitive in against other European teams. Haiti does come fourth in my list. They haven't very been proven themselves in a big stage. But Haiti, I honestly just don't see being able to keep up with the like quality of these other countries in the group. But I do wish Haiti the best of the competition. In the end, I did put Scotland as third. I believe it was the Euros. They were the worst performed team. So they're not quite yet up to there. I mean, being their first World Cup since 98, I do think they will be a competitive side, but I just don't think they will be as competitive as they hope to be. Morocco coming second, being very strong in Africa, showed very strong competition in the 2022 World Cup. I just don't see them slowing down. A lot more talent being built, a lot more project in Morocco happening. Hakimi being what I want to say the best right back in the world right now. And Brazil, I do put first. Definitely haven't been as strong as they have been before. I think Brazil is always going to be a big team in World Cups. I think that they will always kind of, especially not winning one for a very long time, being known as a very World Cup country. Hoping to see Neymar. I want to see Neymar win a World Cup, obviously, but I think this will be a very competitive World Cup generally for Brazil. I do have fourth place being Australia, which might be a little bit of a shocker, but I think Australia have been honestly good competitively in the Asian Cup, but World Cup, they haven't been overly good the last one. I think there's nothing overly too much going for them. Again, they've beat good Asian teams. In third place, I am going to have Paraguay, which, again, I think a lot of people will put them at fourth, but I think Paraguay has honestly been really good in the Cotton Bowl, which definitely is a very competitive qualifier. I mean, South American teams there, none of the games are really easy, and I feel like they've definitely won games that are a lot more competitive. Second place, I did put Turkey. They have a good team. I'll admit they have Arda Güler. I'm also a Madrid fan, so obviously I gotta glaze someone. But Arda Güler, they got honestly some good like youth talent. Yildiz, but they can be randomly inconsistent. They can lose games that you would expect them to win. So I think that's why I do see them falling last. And obviously USA, I'm going to give a little bit benefit because they're the host. I think probably the main host with the most cities. I think they play a lot of like other teams from other confederations. They play European teams. They play South American. I think USA have a good chance. They already have a good foundation internationally, but that's why I see them coming first. Again, being the host. But yeah, I think relatively competitive group. I'm gonna put Curacao at fourth already. They just don't have that much quality. They made it to the World Cup. Don't want to put them off. Any team is able to do anything in this World Cup. We've seen that over the years. We've seen that every competition. But I think Curacao just generally don't have enough like exposure to international play. Third place is a little bit of a hard one, but honestly, not that hard. I put Ivory Coast. They've been pretty good. They weren't good in their qualifiers, but I do think Ecuador has been the stronger team. Ecuador only losing the game against Brazil in the qualifiers since the Copa America. So obviously their qualifiers have been going for longer, but only one loss since June 2024. I think that's really good. They've beaten a lot of South American teams. They were, I believe, the second place in the CONMEBOL, correct me if I'm wrong, while they also were subtracted 10 points. Germany first. Germany's always going to be a strong team, European. Obviously, they've had questionable moments, but I think the team they're voting now, that they have right now, is honestly a really good looking team. Obviously, some players not being as informed. Ukraine, I do have at fourth. I do think it's a European side. Obviously, the European teams are strong, but I think Ukraine just has lacked a little bit of exposure in the football world. And we got third is Tunisia. Tunisia is definitely like a very like not shining African team, but not a bad African team. I think they're just a very like consistently like solid African team. Third, obviously they've had I think some questionable results recently, tying to Palestine, losing to Syria, I think it was, but in the recent games. But I do think that they will be pretty good in this competition still. A team like Japan, obviously a very good Asian country, probably one of the best ones. I do think they're not as strong as they were in the last World Cup. In the qualifiers, some questionable, like not questionable results, but a little like below expectation results. I'm pretty sure they lost to Indonesia, and with first being the Netherlands. Netherlands, always going to be a good team. Always like kind of like one of those teams that you would expect to have won a lot more. They fell short in the 2010 World Cup. But I did put New Zealand as fourth. I think did do pretty good in the qualifiers, but it's not overly difficult qualifiers. Obviously, the Oceania probably being the least competitive. Put Egypt as third. Sorry, Yehia, but I think they've been good. They've won their games. I just don't think they've been playing overly competitive games. The games they won have been good. They've been winning, which is good, which is still in good form. But you haven't really seen them play against bigger teams. And when they have like Tunisia, they lost 3-1 to. They did beat Belgium 2-1 in a friendly, but just nothing overly impressive. It's honestly, I could see them being second when we kind of look at Iran's record, which is who I put at second. Iran, losing against Qatar and Russia recently. They barely won against, it was Kyrgyzstan and North Korea. So very questionable results from them, which is why I could see Egypt taking that second place possibly. But I do see Iran still also having a lot more exposure to playing internationally. And then first, Belgium. Would think they'd be a lot stronger. Obviously, they never reached what they could have been capable of. But I still think they do have a good team, even good youngsters. So I see them honestly still topping. I think out of here, they still have a way higher level of quality than the other teams here. Fourth, Cape Verde, kind of like the other smaller teams. I just don't see them having the quality to really compete that strongly in the World Cup. Third place, bit of a shocker. I do have Uruguay. Is obviously a strong team, but they did have results. They were still fourth in the qualifier, but not some results that you wouldn't expect. Honestly, Peru beat them. I think Paraguay beat them. Saudi being now second place, I'll get into that. I feel like they definitely do have a bigger program coming up, especially with how the Saudi league is. Still, obviously, have some concerning matches too in some of the games they played, but I do think Saudi is one of the ones that will be an upset in the group stage. Uruguay just not being overly promising. Spain, I see being first. I think Spain is probably the favorite for this World Cup. I don't like Lamine Yamal. I'm a Real Madrid fan. Lamine Yamal, I think, has a high ego. That's not the point of this video. But Lamine Yamal, I still respect you. It's kind of impressive what you're doing, but I'll be salty about it. I think Spain have just been too good. They've been a really good team. So I honestly just see them top of the group. Iraq, I do have at fourth. I think they're a decent side in Asia. I just don't think they have the quality to compete with the other teams in this group. I definitely do think this is one of the groups of death for them. The third place I do have is Senegal. Senegal, I have a third. They honestly stay a very strong African team. I think Senegal has consistent results. They honestly, you don't really see them dropping. Norway second. Norway, I think, is one of the best teams that haven't been playing international competitions in a long time. I do think they're probably one of the top teams. Obviously, the likes of Holland, Odegaard, a lot of good players. Really good results recently, too. I mean, honestly, being almost unstoppable, I want to say. I do see them coming second, but not above France. France, just the quality is too good. I think it's still one of the favorites. I think, obviously, Mbappe there. That'll be an interesting game, Mbappe versus Holland, but France just has quality all throughout. Start off fourth place, Jordan. This is their first World Cup, but I don't see them going that much far into. Third is gonna be Algeria, another pretty solid African side. They've been a lot more dominant in Africa in years before, but I think now they've kind of like not been as good as they once kind of were. I do think they still have really good players. Second, my team, Austria, Österreich, first World Cup since 1998. Obviously, I'm hyped. I'm going to put them high. Obviously, I don't care what people say. I do think, but in all reality, though, I think the program they have going, they've been really good under Ragnick. They did really good in the Euros in the group stage, obviously fell to Turkey. But I think, honestly, they've showed very consistent. They've played very well together. Argentina, I'm putting at first. Current World Cup holders. Just honestly, the quality they have against a lot of this group, I don't see them coming second or coming any place lower. I see Austria beating them. But obviously, Argentina, good side. Messi's probably last World Cup. Okay, so this group, I did have Jamaica as getting through as the other intercontinental like winner. So that's probably my prediction, but I do have them at fourth. I think it's a good North American team, but nothing overly special. Jamaica is a good team, but nothing really going for them that well. Argue that Uzbekistan should be fourth, but my line, they are third. I have them at third. I think they are going to be fighting very strong. I think they have a very passionate team. Obviously not quality all throughout, but they do have some good players. They have a solid attack. Their attack plays in Turkey. I do have second place being Colombia. Colombia also did really good in the qualifiers, coming third, I believe it was. Colombia is finally back in the World Cup. Good team, obviously. They don't have the old quality they used to, like James Rodriguez. I don't think they will come first. I think against a Portugal team that is honestly very strong throughout is first. And obviously Ronaldo's last World Cup too. Portugal, strongest quality team on paper out of this team. And this 2025, they've dominated winning the Nations League. Their youth team is dominating. I think Portugal have been a very strong side and honestly are a real contender. I don't want to say that I was biased because I want to see Ronaldo win a World Cup, but I do think Portugal have a really good team, solid throughout. Okay, so the final group of our video, I'll start off straight. I think Ghana's going to come fourth. They are a good team. I just think they haven't been as quality as they could be. And compared to the other teams, obviously it's definitely a difficult group. Honestly, I just see them being at fourth. I think Panama obviously isn't that strong of a team, but I think they did do very good in the qualifiers. In the finals, lost against Mexico. But honestly, they've been pretty solid. I think they have a lot of passion too as a team. Croatia will be second. They've done super good in the past two World Cups. Finalists, and I think they were third place. Yeah, third place in the last World Cup. They're underdogs. Didn't do as good in the Euros, but I think they've been good. They've done a lot of winning. I think the Nations League they did struggle a little bit with, but Croatia, always going to be a good team in the World Cup as of recent years, but I still do put England first. I think some English players being on form. Harry Kane doing absolutely amazing in Bayern. So guys, that's the end of my predictions. A little bit of a longer video. Obviously my editing has shortened it, but I've been here for about like an hour recording, but I try to be a little quick. But that's my predictions. Obviously it's very early. We don't even know all the playoff teams, and don't hate me for my predictions. Just kind of my predictions. Everyone has different. But yeah, anyways guys, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. If I don't upload tomorrow, sorry, but I'll see you guys in the next video of Vitamus.